I just want to go over quickly the lean hogs trades I took for the session. See here, we started the day quite balanced. My first buy was at 91,575. This was at 12:20 a.m. So if we go back pretty much to the start of the session. So we opened the session from the price of 91,600 to 91,175. We're seeing sellers at the start, but also buyers at the bottom. So kind of in a range bound move, which you can see reflected by the fact that we opened and we kind of yo-yoed between, broke down below, slowly broke down, but then sort of resisted. And you can see we're kind of forming this like bearish flag as we go up. This is from the previous sell-off from the previous session there. We sold off and then we're kind of forming this bearish flag. So the first trade I took was at 12.19. This is at 91,575. So 91,575, 12.19. It was over here. I'm seeing essentially paying attention to the sellers coming in. There's multiple selling into this level. There's the first try, I guess, and then the second try that kind of didn't really work out. There's buying that was down here as well, so that's clearly being supported. And then we see some buying coming in the opposite direction. So 91,575 is my entry just after here when we saw the large size buying coming in. I entered on that because that's clearly we want to break out there. We saw selling coming in to try and keep it down, but there's active buying coming in as well. Using my stop of the previous selling at this low here, 91,325. We shouldn't get back down there again if we are going back up, if we are going up. So I did exit at 91,675 essentially at 12.41. So at 12.41 when we came over here, kind of I guess spooked out a bit. We broke above the level and then we had a sharp sell off. I exited just off that, moved down there, and eventually we did come back down. So we tried to buy up again, failed. First try, second try, pop and fail, and then selling stepped in. The next trade I had was the large trade of the day, which was the sell-off, capturing that from 91,525 at 213. So 213, we can see we're kind of consolidating in the middle. The middle IB line was around 91,500 area around here, and we're kind of consolidating in the middle. And at 213 I took the short because we had a push up here. Selling stepped in at 91,600ish and moved down, and then we had another buy coming in and we pushed up again to 91,600ish and we moved back down again. So yeah, I took that short there, 91,525 at 213, so exactly around here, just based off the fact that we tried twice to move up and we rejected 91,600, and then I saw selling coming in to support my move down. So I saw buying coming in here, but we didn't actually react to that or move up off that. So I just held it and we eventually fell off. Still buying coming in, no move. The reason for the exit was I kind of scaled out. So 247, 91,275, 275 at 247 should be right around here. Yeah, 247. So essentially when we did break down, I exited some based off the buying that came in, and then as we broke further down, I exited the rest because we were kind of matching this previous low from that sell-off. And on the previous low, around the 9700 to 9900, which is over here. We're seeing some buying just scattered kind of coming in there, which I didn't really like. So based on the context that is matching the previous low, I exited that move, and yeah, we put up from there. So selling coming in there, but we're still holding up, and yeah, we still seem to be buying up from that point. So yeah, pretty good move of the day. Just two trades, based off the middle initial balance for the second one, and based off the failure to sell off after selling effort failed. So we sold off here, supported with buyers, came up, selling effort failed here, bought, exited on some sharp selling at the top on a rejection of initial balance high, and once we go back to middle initial balance, we bought up. We tried to buy up from there, but we failed to get above, and we tested twice, and we sold off from there, and then I entered short with stop loss just above there and caught the move down into initial balance low. Was not expecting a sell off further down, which is why I exited to here as well, because the buying came in around the lows of the day previously, but then I exited the rest at the lows of the that sell off from the previous session, which makes sense in terms of if the buying was stepping in over here. I didn't really like it for a continuation for 2 days in a row of huge selling. Is just asking a bit too much, I'd say. Just going to go over a strong buying level that occurred on today's session. This is the session for the 31st, the Wednesday. Started out the session with some selling. The lovely one to note is 91,500 flat. 91,500 flat is just over here. Started selling, came down quite hard, and you can see the double bottom here where we had some strong selling down into 9100 flat, and we had that double test where we had a first effort, a pullback, a second effort with a fair amount of selling, but we're seeing some buyers come in now, and we had the rejection of that, and then we had the retest down, and we had the pop upwards, since sellers were pretty much exhausted at this level. Had a good long off there. We saw some strong buying coming in here. This is at the 91,500 level now. 143 delta, 196 contracts total in terms of buying at that price, and pretty much the whole night we bought up, supported that level, second test, bought up, broke it, got to the high here at 9200 flat, and we saw the first test with selling stepping in, second test selling stepping in, and we sold off from there. Came down into 91,500 again, similar sort of zone, and we had that multiple test buy up again. So we were just supporting here the whole night essentially, and we kind of chopped around, but still above 91,500. And then we had that final, I guess, aggressive amount of selling that's coming in for a push to break it. We tested 91,500. This limit order was reloading. Tested it, bought up, tested it again with a fair amount of size, failed to get through, and that failure proved to just be a non-continuation for sellers, and we had buyers stepping in. And this is the area here, 91,500. You can see the multiple tests here, the wicks to the top side as sellers kind of stepped in trying to push down, but they were just not able to get through it. And we're just holding above this kind of middle IB zone. And yeah, we bought up from there. And towards the end of the session, we had the buy up into 92,300. I just want to overlook a weird outlier day, I guess, on the hogs where it wasn't a clear trend until we did break out to the upside. Opened the session with some solid buying. We had some selling coming in, double test at the bottom, 92,300, didn't quite get anywhere, and it's kind of died out as well, so we rejected upwards. Selling tried to step in exactly where we sold off before. You can see selling was heavy at the bottom at 92,275. But then didn't quite get anywhere. Buyers stepped in, and we started moving up from there. We petered out 92,700, heavy buying. It was about 200-ish orders on here, about 180 on the delta. We sold back down, and then we didn't quite go anywhere again. This is at midnight. Yep, this is around here, right there. Yeah, around there. And then we bought up again, 92,700 again, but then stepped down, tried to buy up again, failed to get above 92,700. That was the second failure, and then we sold off from there, sold into here, selling quite heavy into the 92,300, 92,50 level. Kind of blipped down a bit. 92,200. From here we chopped around, so we had some selling coming in, both couldn't quite go anywhere. Buying also coming in at this level, which does line up with around the initial balance low. So this was put in at 12.29, so around here. This is pretty much from where the market opened up. Initial balance low, refused to go down from there. And then from there we bought up again, retest. Heavy selling came in there, like quite a large amount of contracts at 130. This is what this move was, around 130. And then we tested again, couldn't move it, and that's when we moved up. Just blasted through 92,600, 92,700. Got all the way to 9300 up here. And yeah, pretty much just been slow grinding up since, with buyers stepping in, sellers coming in there but not really getting rewarded, and buyers coming in towards the end of the session. Yeah, a bit of a weird outlier day. I think just some things to look over. Just need to pay attention more to the initial balance lines, with the middle line, top line, bottom line. When the market opens, we crossed initial balance middle line here. We stayed under it, but refused to stay under it going forward. So on a trending day, when I'm trying to capture these trending moves, we need to stay above or below the initial balance line pretty early in the session. We don't really go back and forth multiple times on a super trending day. So here we have the cross early in the first minute. So we have the cross up, cross down first minute, then cross up again in the first 10 minutes, and then cross down again in the first hour. So we're kind of chopping back and forth and coming down. When we get to the initial balance low, even the highs are like even this pivot here. This is a 150 tick chart. I should note that after 3 candles, 150 ticks, if we don't make another move down below, it seems that we are reversing position, especially as the night goes on. From here, 1, 2, 3, but we aren't really making any low either, so it's 1, 2, 3, and we do make a new high, and we start grinding upwards. And you can see by the 2 and 9 EMA, as price comes in, it doesn't quite reach that point. So I think maybe 1, 2, 3, and if the 2 and 9 EMA is closing in, that is probably a halt in the move. So yeah, paying attention to the initial balance more, because when we do come to the initial balance, which is the middle line, was at 92,475. 92,475, we're holding above it with some buying before, and then we dip below it, bought up again, tried to hold up above it, and then we dip below it again. Like that is not really aligning with a trending move day. And then when we come into the initial balance low at 92,150, we see some selling here, but also some buying here. We're not really moving, and we kind of bounce off it. Heavy selling into that zone, but a mixture of selling and buying. And once again, we support it, so that should be automatically a sign that we're just not going to break through at this point in time, especially when we have multiple tests. And we break through, and we break to the top side. So yeah, weird day, because we did swing higher, lower, then lower, sorry, a lower low, a higher lower high, a lower low, and then a high high. So bit of a weird move there, but yeah,